hours going right now. A couple people, I assume, are on there, so thank you for your patience. Okay, guys, what we're going to go over today is mortgage protection mastery and annuities is about getting into the home, starting from the lead process, getting into the home, making the dials, getting into the home, and really building value within the home that you're at. Okay, so here's what I'm going to go over, a couple points. I'm going to show you real quickly what my weapons are. From here, you can see that I have a blank piece of paper and I got a pen. These two items, along with knowledge, are going to take you places you never thought possible. So, when I get in a home, I'll show you how I draw this out. But I want to start from ground zero. You guys got to start ordering leads on a regular basis. You just got to get into the system of ordering leads. If you do not market your business, you're doomed. You can't get ahead without marketing your company. So I need everybody to get on a steady lead flow. This is not about the company earning money. This is about, because nobody earns a dime unless you make money off of these resources that we offer. So I want you all to put in a regular, steady lead order list. I want you all to understand something too that is vital to your future, that 7 of 10 women will outlive their spouse, meaning you're really in that home to market mortgage protection, especially on putting the face amount onto the husband so the wife has something to protect herself. And I'm going to go over a few ways that you can protect the home. Your goals and how to achieve them, you got to write this stuff down. Look at, I got a huge board with my goals all over. Praise God, help three reps a week do $10,000 in annuities and things like that. Creative sales, finding the need. This word here is vital to your future. You got to create the need. I put creative sales, finding the need. I'm going to scratch that out, and I'm going to put create the need. The need is why you're there. What the hell are you doing there? That's why you're there. You got to create that. You got to lead. The lead process is, if you don't know how to order leads or what to do in that system, especially with mortgage protection, you got to have 20 minimum coming in. If you go to 30 or 40, you're going to maximize the solutions to a 10 to 20, 30, $50,000 weeks. It's all up to you. The money's there. I promise you, it's there through education. You got to learn. You got to learn products. You really have to get into learning a few products too. So the product knowledge, take 3 or 4 products and just learn them. Head to toe, learn the cash values, the face amount, learn how to do the apps on your phone or on your laptop, how to create the numbers, but be very creative when you're in the home. Your phones and how to call, basic telephone phone calls for mortgage protection start at, hey, Mrs. Jones, I am calling on behalf of ABC Bank, and go from there. It's a real simple 15-second to 30-second script that my wife will go over 2 times a month and do it live in front of you to show you how the resources work well and how to use the script that we use. So I'm going to erase this board and we're going to go over some in-home sales. So the process that I use is very simple. I'm going to teach you guys a real quick process to selling mortgage protection and finding annuity money. Your first job, as you know, is to get the leads. You set the appointment. You got the appointment. You're in the house now, right? Mrs. Jones, you want me to take my shoes off? What are you doing from this point? You're building rapport. What are you building rapport to? To the point of trust. You got to build this rapport. 2 ways to build rapport is through the physical side of doing it, or the mental side, or the heartfelt side, which is like, hey, Mrs. Jones, I noticed you got some nice flowers out front. What kind of flowers are those? I see the pictures on the wall. You got kids, great. You're building rapport to the point of trust that way, but also building rapport to the point of trust with the economical side, meaning the money. And coming up with a need, finding the need or creating the need that leaves enough money or invest money properly for that. People don't know what you guys are learning. They don't know, so you're the expert every home you're in. So take advantage of it. So when you walk into a home, you have to sit down, you got to get prepared. Maybe some of you new guys are a little nervous. And the only reason anybody would be nervous inside the home is because of products. If you do not know your products or what your go-to is, then you're going to be a little nervous. So why don't you shrink that down a little bit so you can get some knowledge to learn about a couple products. I use, let's say Moo and the GUL or the GUL Express or Foresters, the Smart UL. What am I trying to do? Here's what I'm trying to do. This is the number one thing I try to do is I try to take their money and turn it into money. I want them to have 8% on their cash value. I want to take a 401k and get it out of the downsides of the market and have it participate only in the upsides of the market while giving them a safety net to pay the house off. So one of the biggest tools I use to sell or to protect homes is using whatever money I can find, whether it's a 401k, 403b, thrift savings, maybe it's cash value inside old life insurance policies. Like index universal lives are a great one to replace, especially if the cost of insurance is on the rise. They're going to lose it anyway. So you become the expert inside the house, finding money, creating a program or products that really set them in play to make money, survive the times, especially the life. I always tell my clients that 7 out of 10 homes are lost due to the banks who get paid to take these homes back. So you got the house here, and you got the bank stealing the house off them because Mrs. Jones, or she had a life insurance rep inside there who didn't tell her that she needed to buy time. That's one of the simplest sales you can make, is buying Mrs. Jones' time when Mr. Jones is no longer there and his income is gone. So I want to go over that. I'm going to lay this out a little bit so you can see how on a sheet of paper, many sheets of paper, this board is going to become sheets of paper. So every time I erase it, it's a new sheet of paper like I would use on this. Okay, so I want you guys to get a clear idea on this. And if you guys have any questions, I'm going to start answering questions because I think that's one of the most valuable tools we can have, is answering your questions at the end of this thing. Give me 1 second to get this out. So I'm going to slice this board down in half. Why am I doing this? Because I used to forget names, but today I don't, because let's write Mary here, Joe. I'm going to do the older people first, and then I'm going to show you what to do with younger people. This is just an idea, it's just concepts. Actually, it's some of the things that I've done in the field too. So you got two 65-year-old individuals at retirement. I'm going to say this inside the home. I'm going to say, Joe, Mary's going to get the 2 of the higher Social Security incomes, and for me to put this program together, I'd like to know what will she receive from your Social Security income, because hers is X'd out. I'm drawing this out in front of them. You see, when I'm talking, I'm putting it down on paper again. So remember, this is a sheet of paper. So Joe, who of the 2 of you has the 2 of the higher Social Security incomes? And the reason I'm asking is because that's which one of you is going to be left with. And here's the most important thing I want you guys to remember, is that they have 6 to 12 months to wait for Joe's income. So here's the issue, and you can sell on this point. If Mary has $750 a month coming in, let's make it $1,000. We'll make $1,000. And Joe has $3,000 a month coming in. That becomes hers in 6 to 12 months. She's not going to make it. Here's why. Mary and Mrs. Jones, what do you owe on the home? Now I have the sheet, I have the lead in front of me, so I'm going to know what they owe. They owe $250,000 on this house, okay? They have a 30-year mortgage. I'm going to teach them how to split their payments into 2 monthly and get that mortgage cut in half. So if you tell your clients to cut the mortgage in half, you can have them contact their mortgage company and get the payments cut into 2 portions, which lessens the amount of years that they will pay on the mortgage, okay? So they split the mortgage payment in half monthly, lessening the amount of time that they have to pay the mortgage out, giving them more money for retirement, and also giving them more money for your product to last. So what they have here is, Joe, she's going to receive your $3,000. However, she has to wait 6 to 12 months. She's living on $1,000 a month, but the mortgage is, let's say it's $1,000 a month is the mortgage payment for 30 years. If they do what I told them, it'd be 15 or 20 years. $1,000 a month, we know she's out the door, so we have to fill this first void. This first void is something you can sell on, meaning she's not going to receive this money for 6 to 12 months. She has time. You're buying her time right there. To do what? I'm going to tell you what you're going to buy her time for. This is a big word to use in our business, so get it right. She needs the equity in the home. Now, the only way in this system when you're buying somebody time, that they can get the home is on the 25th year. If you've put a policy with a face amount that has like $50,000 or $100,000, that's what's left. There's 5 years left of payments, then they can pay the rest of the home off. But if he were to die in year 1 through, let's say, year 5 through 30, it doesn't matter. There's equity built up into the home that they don't want to lose to the bank. So you can get big premiums out of people by not informing them that not 7 out of 10 women lose the home to the bank by not having a $25,000 or $50,000 policy in place. Well, yes, I already have products. I have a few life insurance policies. That's great, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Who are they with? What is the premium? What do they pay out? As soon as you hear, I have $100,000 or anything above 50 grand, anything above 50,000 bucks is an index universal life 9 times out of 10 or term product. So instantly you know that they're going to term out, or the COI, the cost of insurance on the product, is going to delete the cash value and delete the policy on the universal life. That gives you a place to use these 2 premiums, though, or several premiums, and dump it into your new policy. So if you exit out policies, you can use the premium being paid on those products to get new products in place, plus give the client cash value. And it's a genius system that works great, and it allows you to give larger policies out and make higher premium rates because of this. People knew you were coming. They knew they were going to have to spend some money on this mortgage protection. They don't know how much yet, and that's why you're there, is to explain that. So if Mr. Jones has 3 products and he's paying $200 a month on them, but they're term and an IUL that'll go out of play, this will term out in 5 years. Plus, I want to show him what he's paying. Let's say he's paying $100 a month on this. He's had it for 30 years, or let's say he's had it for 25 years. I'm going to add this up, 100 times 12 times 25 years, and I'm going to show him what his investment was over that time period. Now we got, that shows them what a waste of money it was, basically. So we don't want him to invest the next 5 years into that. So $100 a month times 12 months he pays times 5 years equals what? He's got 1,200 times 5, 0, 0, 10, $6,000 he'll spend over the next 5 years on this product that he'll just waste because he'll probably outlive it. Now we want to use his health and age too to get the new product in place. So you're going to use this 200. The IUL is a little different. It's also kind of a term product too if you don't get it to go to death. But what you have here is you got the COI. For you newbies, that means cost of insurance. This is big. I call their company, whoever it is. I'll contact the organization, contact the corporate company, not the sales rep. Very important. I used to do that when I was younger in this business and failed completely by the arguments I would have with the rep trying to replace the policy. But what's right is right. This policy is going to die out due to cost of insurance. The cost of insurance is $85 a month. That means $85 is coming out of cash value, which may be about $3,000. So what do they have? They got about 2 or 3 years left on that product. Plus the cost of insurance goes up by $10 to $20 a year, sometimes monthly. And they're going to fail this product. So what we want to do is take that premium plus something else. Here's what you need to find out. You need to find out what the results are at the end of the month. What do they have left? What is left over? Do they have $500? Do they have $750? Do they have $1,000? Do they have $5,000 some people have left over? Mr. and Mrs. Jones, at the end of the month when you pay all your bills, you have some fund money taken out. On average, what do you have left between these? Remember, I'm writing this down in front of them. I'm using paper. Okay? I got 1,000. We have about $1,000 left over after all our bills are paid and after we have fun. Okay? What do you do with this money? Well, we put it into the bank usually. We give it to our kids sometimes. Well, right now what I need to do is I need to maximize your situation by using your 2 incomes while your 2 are still alive to protect Mrs. Jones. Mr. Jones, you have $3,000 a month coming in. You can afford to stay here. Mrs. Jones, you have $1,000 a month coming in. Now, this is where I'd also say, Mr. Jones, Will you be leaving her anything else behind? Do you have anything else you'll be leaving behind? Do you have a 401k or retirement plan that she'll receive? And this is where the subject of money and me finding out what money they may have over that can be turned into an indexed annuity. So yes, let's just say for this instance, he said, yeah, I got a $100,000 401k. Now right there, I know that I can get the house paid off in about 10 years with them making payments and this doubling every 10 years plus the 13% bonus that they're going to get. They're going to start at $113,000, and in 10 years, that'll be about $226,000 or so. So there's a way to pay off the house, showing them that strategy. That's where I sell 1 to 5 annuities a week. I do like 10 to 15 illustrations a week, but only sell actually 1 to 5. But there's a list of people that when the market crashes, I have a letter present that I will send out to them, showing them where they could be today. Like 5 years from now, if the market were to crash and they were to lose half of their money, I'm going to send them a letter out to show them where they could have been. So I get a telephone call back so I can sell them the annuity at that point. I got $200 a month to work with, scratching out old policies. I'm going to add an extra 100 or 200 bucks. I'm going to get a premium rate of 400 to 500 bucks, showing them that they have anywhere between $600 and $500 a month left over still to play with. This is an investment, Mr. Jones. So if God forbid Mrs. Jones were to go first, Mary were to go first, you'd have cash value built up. So you'd have a huge policy earning 8% interest or 5.85 at Forster Smart UL or 3% on final expense. So there's always interest in there. Unless you're selling them term at age 65, it doesn't make any sense. You know, what are you going to do for them? They're going to outlive it again, and you're just wasting their money and your time. And you know, it makes for a nice sale for you, but it doesn't do the job correctly for long-term reasons, selling them a 10-year term. You know, qualifications on this, if nobody qualifies health-wise, we got to go through the health questions. Get your scripts out, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Let me check out a few things on your health. I'm going to qualify you for as many discounts as I can. As many discounts. They like that word. Use the word discounts and just sell more. So what we have here is created a way to sell larger premiums. And at the end of this little broadcast we're doing here, I do want to answer your questions. I think some of the best training we can do is answering your questions and finding out what you may be missing inside the home. If I lessen this age, let's take this age down. Now we're talking about doing mortgage protection here. I got two. In fact, how about this? I found a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old. Now, this guy's name is Chris. Actually, his name is Chris. I want to show you guys something. Inside here is his layout of what he was going to do inside his 401k. The guy tells us he wants to retire at age 55. So we show him a program that if we were to do it in a 401k, he would have had about $25,000 a year coming in as income for the rest of his life until like age 90. No, it was like till age, it was through age about 90. So in this situation, we stop him at age 55 doing an index universal life with F&G at 8%, 9% interest. He retires with $35,000 a year as income, and he gets to retire with $406,000 in his cash bucket, doing this for 30 years. So we can also change people from the 401k system or the system for retirement and show them the index universal life tax-free retirement schedule. If you learn this, you bring more arsenal to your wars. You go in with new ideas and creative sales, I call it. You're in homes where people desperately need your help, and you're fumbling the ball 9 times out of 10, new reps do, by not introducing this stuff to them, basically. You've got to introduce this kind of technique to people if we're going to provide people with the right future, just for America itself. If people stay under 401k and they lose 50% overnight to market crashes, but they don't lose a dime in this one, they only participate in the upsides, that makes sense, and this will always outperform this. We have a way to show you how to do the illustrations. You can check people's 401ks online, and do the calculations right in front of them, which I do. But that's interesting that I did 2 policies like that. The total premiums I walked away with was about $550 between the 2 in one sale. And it didn't take but 30 minutes to about 45 minutes to do this. So that's a neat little strategy that I put together for them because, you know, I didn't want to give them term, and I found the need is what I did. I found the real need. What's the concern? My concern inside homes is usually this: retirement. When I think this way, I come up with more math solutions for their future. So I'm here to protect the home. You know what I mean? Making sure that the bank doesn't get the home. I'm here for them to have money to retire on so they can live a longer life. The expectations of life are going to age what? 90, 95, not 80, 85 anymore. People are living longer, but their money isn't prepared to go the distance. That's why you walk into a Walmart, you see an 85-year-old man working there because a 401k crippled him. He doesn't have any retirement to live on. He needs an income. So you as the professional can go in and protect the hell out of these people. Now, I am not against term products at all. I think they're fantastic in the right situation. Sure, I can offer somebody $500,000 here on a, let's say it's a 20-year term. The guy's, you know, 50 years old, or I can do the index universal life. You know, I can even do a return of premium ROP on this thing. And what's he get? You know, depending on the premium, let's say his premium is $250 a month, and he gets back a substantial amount. I don't know what it is, 50,000 or so. That's gonna be less. Let's say it's 25,000, but the IUL's at 50 grand at that point. So in the 20 years, the IUL will always outperform it. It's a term product too, so you just need to learn how to illustrate it. It can be term or it can be whole life. You can create it either way. But these term products sell very well. I'm not against them at all. This is probably the simplest way to get started in the business, is doing term products and just some whole life. If you want to get involved in the indexing of universal life or life insurance, I depend on the Mutual of Omaha GUL and GUL Express to get new reps started. Or Forrester's Smart UL is fantastic. I mean, we're talking about 5.85% on cash value for years now. And what a great company to bring the living benefits. Now, I want to speak about value. Value is creating value inside a home, is knowing your products. When you're able to list, you get living benefits, you get cash value, you get the death benefit. Mr. Jones, if Mrs. Jones passes away, you're going to get the cash value. Mrs. Jones, if Mr. Jones passes away, you get the death benefit. And you both inherit the living benefits together, 9 times out of 10. So this works well to show that 5.85% on that Smart UL, which is an easy write-up. People got to be fairly healthy, and know that this is about really truly about healthier individuals you're working with. If it falls out that they need some guaranteed issue, you all know that you can fall back on AIG. You could do Royal Neighbors, kind of liberal, and you got AMAM. Things like that, but that's again where you need to learn your products, and it takes a while. It really does. You're in an apprenticeship that takes some time. Give yourself this year to study products, and then next year watch what happens to your income. For all you newbies in here that don't, you got to understand that you're running your own company too. You've got a nice platform to work from. These guys really set a beautiful platform. Trust me, I've been at all the other ones. They got a beautiful platform for you. They got the best lead resources you've ever worked in your life. I promise you that. Which leads you to these financial things that you can create. You can create annuities. You can create this stuff. You can create the protection of the home, whether it's short-term or long-term. This is to sell the home. This is to buy the home out at the end. Or this is for cash value, for retirement. If you think about these things that you can create, you get more money out of people, and you hence make more money. So I'm going to do kind of like this here. I'm going to go through a sale real quickly here. It's not an actual sale, so I'm just going to create it as I go. I got 2 people, age 65. Let's call this woman Mary again. Mary and Joe, I'm here to give you some options to show you how to protect your home when one of you passes away. We're going to figure that part out as we go. I'm going to give you some creative options to use to pay the home off, or I need to know, one of the things I'm going to ask them is, Mary, will you stay here if Joe's no longer here? Will you even want to live in this house? If they say no, I know that all I have to do is come up with a policy that sells the home, buys them time. If they say, no, I adore this home, I want to stay, well, I got to maximize the solution by getting them a long-term distance policy that will go the distance. And whether that's term or some kind of index universal life product, either way does it as long as it hits the 30-year mark. Now remember, if you cut the mortgage payments in half, they pay 2 monthly payments. Call the mortgage company, cut this in half. They will have it done in 15 to 20 years by paying less interest on these homes. So I'm going to go through this sale real quickly, and I'm going to start answering questions real soon here, guys. Give me some time because there's important stuff in here. So out of the two of you, who earns the two of the higher Social Securities, the reason I'm asking is because, Joe, that's what Mary's going to be left with. So hypothetically, if you're at 2,000 and she's at 1,000, here's the problem, is she has to wait 6 to 12 months to receive this 2,000. This may be a shocker to people. A lot of people don't know that. And when you bring this to the table, there's a point of sale. You can sell on that point alone, okay? Now, you have the two of the higher, correct, Joe? You have 2,000 and Mary has 1,000. I know now the total income in the household is $3,000. I know that the monthly mortgage payment is 1,000, and I know they owe about 150 grand on the house in 30 years. So they got 1,000 bucks, 150 grand. They got 3,000 bucks a month. I know 1,000 is going towards that. I know there's 2,000 left over. They have insurances, they have food, they have so on, so on. There's probably anywhere between 500 to 750 left over in my mind. That's what I know, right? So I'm kind of calculating what is going to be left over at the end of the month. What do they got to put into this thing? Because people don't want to, you cannot go into a house screwing up the budget. You have to reinsure them that it fits in the budget. When you do that, you will sell larger premiums. You will become their advisor all the way across the board. They will trust you with their money. When you research them and find out their need, then you can really put the policy together. So here's some questions you need to be asking. Is out of the two of you, who has the two of the higher Social Securities? We know that he does. You know now that she has to wait 6 to 12 months. He has the higher income, so 9 times out of 10, we're going to cover her. We're going to put the face amount on him, the policy on him, so she gets the death benefit. They both reap the living benefits if he's still alive, and he gets what? Let's bring value to the table. Okay, I'm going to do that in a minute. So the Social Security. Joe, are you going to be leaving anything else behind to her? Do you have any other retirement schedule that she would receive? This is where I find out that they have a 401k or they have a pension plan. I'm not going to get into that right now because I want to continue the mortgage sale. I'm going to show you newbies how to actually do an annuity sale without presenting it right here because you're new. You should get the illustration done by somebody in your upline. Okay, get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. Contact Chris, contact somebody that knows what they're doing, and get the illustration done correctly. So you have this ability to do this. You have the living benefits, you got the death benefits, you got the face amount. It all makes sense. You know what it may be at the end of the month. There's about 500 bucks a month left over. He doesn't have anything for retirement. Do you also, Joe, do you either of you two have life insurance? And this is where a ball play, you got to understand, if they do have life insurance, that's a good thing, okay? Now, they believe in it. They've had it for a while. They believe in the life insurance. Your job is to find out, does it need replaced? Really, is that the right thing to do? Because adding more to their product, to their budget, doesn't make sense. But it may make sense to keep the policy in play if they're good whole life products. If you find term or index universal life, go for the replacement. If they don't make it, you'll find out that most guys don't know how to sell these things, the index universal lives, but they won't take it till death. Okay, they won't even tell the client that. They won't even tell the client that there's cost of insurance in it. You know what I mean? And I do. That's why I teach people how to overfund these things, and I get more premium out of them. So you can easily replace products that way. Now, if they don't have anything in place, here's what I'm going to do, Mary and Joe. I'm going to create something. I'm going to give you some options so you know what your choices are. And Mary, since you do not want to live in the home, I would suggest that we put something in place to buy you time to sell the home for the equity inside of it. Now, I'm going to do a mathematical problem that's very important for you to get. You have to show people the numbers. Remember, this is a piece of paper. Now, I'm going to show them another piece of paper here, and I'm going to show you something. This is how you show them what they're going to receive when the other dies in equity in the home. This is a quick equation. She's paying $1,000 a month times 12 months equals $12,000. Okay? Now let's take a timeline. Mr. Jones is 65. He dies at 75 years of age. We take this, we multiply it by 10 years. Okay? They have $120,000 in equity. Divide that by 2, and that equals $60,000. So they're roughly in between $60K and $90K with good inflation on that house. Now this is where you could sell because you're providing them with the information to make her feel good. Okay, you're right. This number's big. I don't want to lose it to the bank. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy her time to sell the home. Selling in a down market can be tough. It can take 1 to 2 years to sell a home. Now, in some plans, it can take 1 day to 30 days. You got to know your demographics too. It helps. Once you get out there enough, you'll know where you're at and what homes sell best. So he's 65. Now, let's take him to 85. And he's got, what, $140,000 that she walks away with. That's the retirement plan. That's her life insurance. Okay? All you're doing is putting a product in place that buys time. You get it? All right? So you put the 25 grand in here. Now, what is the loss to her? If he's at $2,000 a month, she's losing about $25,000 a month. Buy her 2 years of time. $50,000. Here's the good flip side to this. Mr. Jones. If something happens to Mrs. Jones, here's what I want you to do. I want you to understand that you'll receive the cash value out of it. So if you two are spending anywhere between $200 and $300 a month on this product, you're going to walk away with large cash value. You got 5.85%, you got 3% products, you got 8% products. You got to choose which one is best suited. This one makes a lot of money, this one makes a lot of money, this one makes decent money. So what you're telling him is you're informing this gentleman about the cash value he's going to receive if she passes away. And that's important for him to know. Here's what you're doing. You're basically showing somebody, like if you take money out of your pocket and you purchase something, you want to be rewarded. You bought something that your mind told you you either need or want. And what you're teaching these people is how to invest their money, but feel very comfortable about where it's going. Letting them understand that this money never runs out. This policy pays in like 3 or 4 different ways, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. One of you is getting paid or both of you are getting paid. One, the death benefit, Mrs. Jones, you need it or you're going to lose to the bank $50,000 or $60,000, $70,000. You understand? You're going to have $50,000 or $60,000 you lose in 10 years. 60 to 90,000 you'll lose in 10 years. Mr. Jones, if something happens to her and you're paying $200 a month, plus you're earning 8% interest on your money annually, you got $2,400 a month you're earning interest on, not all of it, but some of it, and you walk away with the cash value. So you can still, this is like 2 policies, all policies to me, except for term without ROP, is equivalent to having 2 products on 2 people. So one policy covers 2 people. In many cases for me, the way I do it. Yes, I can easily put a small policy on Mary for Joe too, but remember, his income's higher. He could probably survive this. And we're really out to protect the women. If you go into this career and you want to do it right, I'm going to tell you something. If you think like I think and you go out to protect the women, in every home that you go in, you can simplify who to put this on by knowing that 7 out of 10 women are going to lose their homes one day or not have enough money and outlive their spouse. So who are you going to put it on? Are you going to put it on the guy with more income, or are you going to put it on the woman with a lower income and she needs more money at the end? So that's how that works, guys. For the annuity sales, real quickly, I'm going to give you a way. If you want to make a quick sale, by the way, and you just want, you're new, you can figure out, what the need is, kind of build rapport, and you can put 3 options down, 1, 2, 3. But you really want to know, first, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, at the end of the month, what do you guys have left over after you pay all your bills and you have some fun money? You have about $500 to $1,000 left over. Oh, easily we have $1,000 left over. Now, if you're new, now you know that this is affordable. You can start selling larger premium products when you're new to this. You don't have to sell $30, $50. And I'm going to tell you veterans out there too something. When you're inside a house, you're not there. It's not about selling the cheapest product at all. It's not about doing that. It's about selling value. They will pay if you bring value to the table. They all want the Lamborghini of policies. You're giving them a Pinto when you sell small policies. And you take the chance of getting your policies replaced. I walk in behind you and you put some $30 a month or $50 a month policy on the table. I'm going to build more value, and I'm going to outperform you by building value, and I'm going to replace the policy because it's right. Not because I'm a jagoff, because it's the right thing to do to protect Mrs. Jones. They can't have $10,000 to buy them time. Here, I'm going to do a small policy on you, Mrs. Jones, and I'm going to buy you a year of time. First of all, that's not even a year of time. I see this a lot out there. So when you could have easily sold a $50,000 product and built the premium to $200, not $50 a month. Why? Because we know they have $1,000 left over. I'm going to show them Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Here's what I'm going to show everybody. Every client goes through this with me, every one of them. At the end of the month, what do you guys have left over? We have roughly about $2,000 left over. Now, you paid all your bills, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Let me ask you two an important question. If I were able to protect the home, get everything paid for, have Mrs. Jones living good, get you building you equity inside the product, Mr. Jones, giving you living benefits, if you had cancer, heart attack, stroke, couldn't do 2 of 6 daily activities a day, you were able to get the face amount or money while you're alive still, bringing value again, could you live on $1,500 a month and all your bills are paid, or could you live on $1,800 a month and all your bills are paid? What do you think they're going to say? They always say yes. So I know right here I can use a $500 policy and I can use a $200 policy. I can put illustrations together now for that particular product, for that particular need and situation. Because I found out what was left over at the end of the month. And that's the missing piece to your puzzle. I guarantee you, if you start asking what's left over at the end of the month, and you provide them with value and create the need, show them what they really need it for, you will make more money than ever before. But you've got to remember something, ladies and gentlemen. You are owning your own business. You open your doors up, you stand out on the sidewalk, and you're waiting for people to come in. It's not going to happen. You have to distribute marketing out there to get clients to you. You must invest into the lead systems. You've got to do it. And you got to trust it. You're going to have your upsides and downsides in life and in business. 1 week, you're going to earn $5,000. The next week, you're going to earn $10,000. The week after that, you earn $3,000. The week after that, you earn $1,000. Look at the total for the month. That's why I base all my income on a month. I just don't give a shit during the day, or somebody says, oh, I don't see you today. Good. I base it on my monthly income. Because this week could suck, this week could suck, this week could suck, but this week brings me an annuity, and I made $100,000 this week. I made $20,000 this week. How do I do this? If you guys want to know how to do that kind of number in a week, here's how you do it. You build value. Now, for you newbies, there's 2 ways to sell annuities. For new people, you go through the illustration. Mr. Jones, what else are you leaving behind to Mrs. Jones? I have a 401k. All right. I have an IRA. They both come to about $400,000. Now, for you newbies having this information, your job is to 1, sell the policy first, and then 2, deliver it. Deliver it. When you deliver the product, I want you to bring the illustration for this, which will show him this. Take this $400,000. You add 13% interest on it. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to go $443,000. And in 10 years, it'll be like $900,000 in just 10 years. You're showing them a way. Here's what you're going to say. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, while I was away, I thought about something. I actually have a strategy that I created for you to show you how to pay your house off in just 5 to 10 years. And I'd like to show it to you. And they did it all with interest. I'm going to show you how to pay your house off, not in 30 years, not in 20 years, but 10 years. and I'm going to give you a larger retirement schedule. So this is the way it looks. When you bring it back. Now, if you're in the house like I do it, and you sell the annuities right on the spot, I can find out what's left over. I got a 401k. Okay, we'll just keep it simple. It's a 401k. I got $500,000. From this point here, the $500,000 mark and up, they believe in their stockbrokers. They love them. They cherish them. They don't even care if they lose money. You know what you have to convince these people to do? This word is tough for older people. Change. If you can show them why they have to participate in the change that you've created for them and build that need. Show Mr. Jones side by side. Just literally show him side by side. We have a way for you to do that. His 401k over here and your indexed annuity over here. Show him that this will be, 1.2 million in 10 years. Show him that this will probably be about, if it's a $500,000, be 600 to $1 million possibly. There's a possibility, but here's what he does. He can always guarantee himself participation in the upsides. He knows he participates in that. He will participate in the downsides of this one. So why in the hell would anybody want to take the chances on these at the end of their life? They don't have enough time to get this money back. They're not being matched. It's all on them. Plus, he's paying somebody 3% interest annually from his $500,000. So if you show them what 3% of $500,000 is, what is it, $5,000, $15,000 or so a year? I think, I'm not sure. $15,000 a year over 10 years, that's $150,000 that could have been in his bucket, not the stockbrokers, for playing a guessing game. So what you need to do is, the reason we do that, nothing against stockbrokers at all, but what you need to do is protect their money. All stockbrokers out there, guys, I'm not against you, but listen, when you got an older person, I know you got to make money, but when you seriously take their money and you throw it in a volatile market, at any time you could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars for people. You can cripple people overnight. When you can simply have them participate in the upsides of the market and no longer the downsides, and usually outperform. It usually outperforms the 401k. Side by side, it usually outperforms it. I mean, look at the charts. It makes sense, guys. So how do we do this? Inside the home, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I found a way to get your home paid off for you. I want to show you this particular strategy of doing it, and then there would be the strategy of, making the monthly premium payments, which will totally fit in your budget, by the way. You're not going to have a problem. I'm not going to take any food off the table. But I prefer this way of doing it over that, because this pay your house off in 10 years, plus show you a retirement plan that is outstanding, outrageous. It's incredible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this $500,000. I'm going to call Theme. I'm going to have them run a 13% bonus on this, making this 500 and what is it? 500 is that 550, 565? So right out of the gates, I'm going to show them this. In the first year, plus 8% interest. What are they at? About $100,000. In their first year, they go from $500,000 to $600,000 in 1 year. 1 year, they earned $100,000. Can your stockbroker do that for you? The bonus is so freaking big. It's 13%, it's $565,000 instantly, $65,000. They just started accumulating income from over a monthly basis now. They got $1.2, $1.3 million in 10 years. In 20 years, they got $2.5 million. In 30 years, they got $4.45 million. It all makes sense. There's no downside. The taxation's less. It's an incredible way of doing it. Now, the most important part of this puzzle is this. I have to get the illustration to put proof on a table. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I have this illustration being emailed to me. Would you mind, can I use your computer and printer? I just want to print this up for you. Sure, no problem. You never have a problem with it. You put the illustration in front of them. You show them what the cash value looks like over time. You show them their age here. You show them the death benefit. You show them what they receive in death benefit over here. And that's important to people. Some people aren't even touching this money. It's just set aside for a rainy day if they ever need it. They have such a good monthly income 9 times out of 10. These leads provide you with people that are demographically set up to sell this kind of product. And if you're not buying these leads, you got to be crazy, man. You're losing tens of thousands of dollars a week. This $500,000, by the way, will provide me, and I got to tell you my comp level. So here's what I'll do. I'll tell you that if you sell $500,000, you could earn what? 30 grand on this deal? 40,000? How do people think I get to $100,000 a week? It's simple. I will find 2 or 3 of these a week, easily. I wish I had a camera following me around. People that have been in the field can vouch for me. So if anybody has ever been in the field with me, comment, tell them you've seen me run into annuities, you see me sell annuities, do these illustrations live. It's important to know this because this makes a whole difference. You get $30,000, which takes about 30 days to get sometimes. You have 30 grand to start with, plus you're still making money on a weekly basis, and you're doing this over and over again. You're showing more illustrations. All you're doing is adding a system to the system you already have in place. Meaning, you're selling mortgage protection, but you're leaving all the indexed annuities on the side. Why? Maybe fear. So I gave you a way out. Here's what you say. I have a way to get your home paid off in 10 years. There's a strategy I use to get people's homes paid off in 10 years. I'd like to provide you with that information so you and Mrs. Jones can review it and make the proper decision for the rest of your future. Okay? And I'd like to use your printer and computer. If I could print it out, it'd be great to show you right here today. Here's some information on the company. Pull the folder out. Provide them with information. You know, you guys also need charts. If you could show how people die, you know, show the statistics on cancer. 75,000 people a year die from cancer. It's like 175,000. If you could show heart attacks, 250,000 people a year die from heart attacks. You show them the statistics. Show them 3 out of 6 women, you know, will get heart disease, things like that, and guarantee them this: you are going to die. Okay? How you die and provide is the question. While you two have the maximum income together, remember, using the income together to find a solution for Mrs. Jones. Sometimes it is flipped. You do it on Mr. Jones. Sometimes. I find situations like that. For smaller product sales, you got a $100,000 home discovered. You got some young kid, he's 30 bucks, 30 years of age, he bought his first home, he doesn't have a girlfriend, there's nobody to cover. What do you do? Well, there's equity. All you can show him is there's equity. His options are this. Do you want to give the equity in your home built up to the bank or your parents or your brother? Start listing things to him. Say your brother. How about your aunt? How about your uncle? How about a future girlfriend and a future wife? Think about it. You know, you got the equity built up, you're going to give it to the bank? That's crazy. Let's put this product on you for this reason, for retirement. All young people I share the retirement schedule with. So when you run into a younger crowd, what you should do is show them how to retire healthy. How do you do that? Tax-free retirement, guys. Tax-free retirement. Okay? Retire with tax-free income. How do they do that? Well, let's measure their income. He's at $50,000 a year now. How much play money does he have a month? Let's say he has $1,000 a month left over. What was he going to put into his 401k is another question. Well, I was going to put $200 a month into it. All right, here's my suggestion. You take $400 a month and you retire at this. You retire at age 50. I try to teach young people how to retire early. And if you can provide them with this information, they will buy the product, I promise you. Plus, it comes with death benefit. Plus, you got living benefits. God forbid you're out of work. You get cancer. You can't do 2 of 6 daily activities. You're in a car accident. That money, that $100,000 benefit becomes yours, or 85% of it, or 95% of it, depending on the carrier. There's all kinds of value here, man. Like, I would buy this. Oh, shit, it's going to happen. I'm guaranteed to retire one day. I'm guaranteed to get something. Car accident, cancer, heart attack, stroke, things like that. Yeah, it makes sense, man. I'm 30 years old. I got to start preparing for the future. It all makes sense. It really does. So what I'd like to do now is I don't know how to open this up for discussion. Does anybody know of a way that I can open this? I'm trying to see if I can talk to everybody. All right, listen, I don't know if I get a hold. Can anybody hear me on the phone? Is anybody on the phone? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I wish Chris was on this with me so I could provide the right information on here. No audio. What the? Unbelievable. Hold on, guys. I need to do something real quick. I can't believe there's no audio on this. Give me 1 second.
Your access code followed by the pound or hash sign.
2, 4, 6, 4, 9.
To enable audio control, please enter your
Hello. I'm hoping people are on there. If you can't hear me, I apologize. I was left to run the system. I don't understand here. So anyway, for you people on here, let's review a couple more things. One, you want to build value, okay? Bring value to the table. Number 2, learn your products. Product knowledge is important, guys. You got to learn some products. Just simplify it, man. Think about what you're doing. Think about people. What do they want? What do you want in life? You want a decent retirement, right? You want to make money on your money. You never want to put something towards something that doesn't make money. I think I sold one term product in my entire life, to be honest with you. I really just don't get it. I understand low premiums, high amount. People outlive it, wasted their money. They're 60, 70 years old now. Now they got to get a new product when they could get a big one way long ago. You know, if the right guy's in front of these prospects that we sit with, they can create something that will help them entertain their future with larger numbers, whether it be in death or in life. And if you think about these two issues, death and life, and create a pathway for people to build value, put the product in play, retire earlier, or retire with something, you're going to build a hell of an audience and referrals will come. You're out there begging for referrals. When you build a book of business, they just come anyway. And if you start getting involved in your people's future and really contacting them every once in a while, you can also get back in the home and say, how you doing? Or send a nice card out to these people and see how they're doing in life. At the end of the day, this word here means so much here, this value. Without this, nobody's going to buy anything. And I want to add, rapport. They have to know, like, and trust you. Know, like, and trust you. If you can build value and build rapport to the point of trust, you can sell deals. Let's go over something here. Remember, some of the things you're looking for. You're looking for hidden money. The money that they will not talk about that you want to get out of. You got hidden money. Number 2, you bring value. You explain all the things that come with it. Cash value, living benefits, death benefit, early retirement. You know what I mean? It's all value. Number 3, you want to, your lead resources are a must. I just don't understand it. I understand it. So many guys are broke out there. Remember, sell a policy on yourself after you get product knowledge, get trained up. I need people asking questions. I don't get it why they're not doing that, but they don't. And if you're in a home and you're fumbling the ball on situations I would have sold, then you know it can be sold. I go in behind guys that don't sell because remember, I'm still out there to film this. All this stuff is real that I'm bringing to you. This really does happen. I mean, I might be acting illustrations out, but sometimes I'll remember stuff and put it on this board for you guys to enjoy and to learn. So I want to teach somebody real quick today how to do $100,000 next week. By next week, somebody can make $100,000 on this. How are you going to perform that is up to you. Now, the number one thing you need is leads. If you can trust this and get 30 to 40 magnificent mortgage protection leads, and look, everybody's like, oh, well, I won't be able to sit with all those people. No shit, it doesn't matter. Here's what matters is that you sit with 15, you sit with 20, and you sell $20,000 that week, and you sell $30,000 the next week, and then you land that. Some people will run into $1 million annuity. You know, that's $50,000 to $80,000 to $90,000 for some of you guys, instantly overnight. You know what I mean? Here's your $100,000, but it all started with a magnificent lead order. You gotta push it, man. Push it to the level. But after you get trained, ask some questions. Go out with somebody in the field. I've always offered it, and people are taking me up on it. If you want to go out in the field with me, contact me, and we will go out in the field. Stay in a room. We go out for a 4-day period. When you see these videos after you've seen it live, you will get what I'm saying on this board. You will completely understand it week in and week out. That's valuable, man. Very important stuff. So I'm going to call it a day here, unless anybody has any questions on this. I don't know what happened here. Loud and clear on FB. I'm hoping that so you triple your money in 10 years. My young Dai Chow, you double your money in 10 years. My young, you double it. So if you take somebody's, I want to show you something. If you take somebody's $200,000, you add a bonus, you got 13%, you got 10%, you got 8%, depends on the age, and you add $223,000. Yes, it doubles in 10 years. So you have to understand that money, how do we know that? Here's how we know it. We provide these people with a look back period. So the look back on this is why we know that this works, okay? We understand this too. There's no downsides, none. All their money participates in is the upsides. But you never see this line. See, this is why this always outperforms, because it's just going up. It's never participating in these downsides. They lose 50%. They got to get 50% returns back just to get where they were started over. Why would anybody do that to a retiree? Why would you hurt people that bad? Do you understand what these people are doing out there just to earn a buck for themselves? It's a disgrace to humanity is what it is. And these people actually trust people to that level. And that's why it's important to keep the clients that you've seen in the past who didn't purchase the indexed annuity and show them highlight in the years when the downside market hits where they would be today. Because show them a letter, send it to them. Hi, Mr. Jones, remember me? Here's where you would have been. You know, they just don't get it. And you should get it, is they don't participate in the downsides. You only participate in the upsides in an indexed annuity. And 9 times out of 10, you should be looking at a theme. If anybody has any arguments on that, you can tell me why, but I don't really know why you would have that. Now, I told you first, you got to set your goals. I'm going to go for a couple more minutes. Goals. 1, praise God. 2, what is it? Question mark. Do you even know what the hell you're chasing? But then once you get the question here, you need to find the answer to it. So if you do write down a couple goals, write down like 5 just for this week and participate in it. Find out, what do I need? Okay, how about this? I want to do $10,000 this week. All right, I need 30 leads. Why do I need 30 to 40 leads? Because you just said you wanted $10,000. Okay, why would you buy 10 or 20 to attempt to get the 10? If I can get 30 to 40 and guarantee I'll get the 10. You know what I mean? In fact, you'll find out that you will get beyond your goals. You'll shoot beyond the stars with this amount of lead work. You got to keep the leads coming in, guys. You got to build a book of business, man. You want that residual income? You want to get reps to follow you? You got to provide them with proof. You got to give the proof, man. So listen, I'm very, very sorry if the webinar didn't go through. I apologize if it did. Thank you very much. I don't know how to ask questions on here. Let me check something here. If you have any questions on Facebook, please comment in here so I can know. I hit *1, but now how do I open it up is the question. I want to talk to people if there's anybody on there. Chris, can you get on the webinar at all and open it up? I don't even know if there's people on there or not. That sucks. Anyway, any questions that anybody has? Any questions? I'd like to answer some questions. Lawrence, you got any questions? Anybody have any questions? Let me ask you a question. What do you sell? Or what are you going to participate with this week? You're going to keep doing the same thing? Are you going to get off of this webinar and continue doing the same thing you've done week after week? Are you really going to make a change in your life to change others? If you walk into a house and you talk about retirement, you don't talk about it, it's in your mind. How do I take the individuals that I'm working with 9 times out of 10 between this age and this age and get them a nice retirement? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about death. Somebody receiving a decent retirement from somebody's death, or functionable money to provide them with a life that they wouldn't have if they didn't have this money. You're not doing this well enough to take a look at what they have. And you only get there through rapport to the point of trust. You got to get to that point in 2 ways. One, the human way, meaning interacting with the people, letting them know you're human. You're not there to sell. I'm here to tell. No sell, all tell. No sell, all tell, okay? So the second part is through facts. Show them that you're the pro, man. Show them, provide them with the information that nobody else has done for them. Take some time out. My sales may be longer than yours, but per sale, I sell larger premiums than you. If I had some of the demographics some of you people have, if somebody's earning $500,000 in an area, I know that I'd earn $1 million. If somebody's earning $100,000, I know I'm going to do 200 to 300 because of product knowledge, which isn't that much, by the way. I mean, there's a lot of you smarter at products than I am. However, what else do I have? I got the rapport skills. I can build rapport. So you can have product knowledge and I'll outperform you with rapport. Now, if you knew products better than me, you would outperform my rapport building through education to the individuals. So providing them with the education and getting them to retirement. If you think this way, think about it. All this thing is really about the, now with the younger people, of course, it may not be that way. It may be to actually get the house paid off. You got some 30-year-old kid, he's got a home payment for 30 years. Then, his wife wants to protect this area. Yes, you could use term. But all I'm saying is you can provide people with the authority to make money on a product. You know what I mean? You have the ability, if you understand the knowledge that you can bring to the table, it's unbelievable. Like I said, I don't know if there's any questions today. I apologize if everything went wrong on that side. Any questions on the live video on Facebook? You post it up for me. I said to you before, check this out. I'm going to show you something. Look at this. Check this out. If we have this kid here, he puts in $109,000. Okay. He puts in $109,000 from age 21 to age 59 or 60. He has almost 600 grand put away. So his earnings were $500,000 putting 100 grand in. I mean, that's sick. That's absolutely ridiculous. If he would have doubled his money by age 50, just a little bit more. How about if he would have put, like his premiums are $257 a month. If he would have doubled that, he'd be at $1 million at age 60. So think about all the money you spend. Do you spend an extra $500 a month on wasted money? Do you look at these fives? You know what I mean? You got to do it that way. Here's what I want to show you how to get rich too. Real quick, I'm going to show you this. If you know what you know, you're bringing in $5,000 a month. You're bringing in $10,000 a month. Out of this, you can afford $250 to $500 easily. Out of this, you can afford $1,000 to $2,000 easily. And invest into an IUL on your own. You'll be out of the game earlier than sooner. 8%, 9% interest on your money. Do an illustration for yourself from the time of the age you are now and continue to do the Index Universal Life with F&G. High interest rates, great death benefit, and the living benefits you may need one day. It'll provide you with the living benefits you may need one day. Hell, you may get cancer, heart attack, stroke. Can't do 2 of 6 daily activities a day. The Index Universal Life will provide you with that benefit that you don't have in place if you're self-employed 9 times out of 10. And if you're with a 401k, I'm telling you right now, take a look at this and stop what you're doing. You got the 403bs, you got the IRAs, you got things that just aren't going to perform as well as this stuff. It just doesn't. These products are amazing. And you got to take a look at the illustration. So if there's no more questions, hold on. So you said get a policy on yourself, so we will get advanced on that, or will it be as earned? That good way to someone like myself to get the capital for leads. No, you will get the advancement on it if you've never done it before. Best product knowledge you can get is from the carriers. That's true too, but I'm going to tell you something. That's not always necessarily 100% accurate. I'll tell you why. You got a bunch of guys being paid on an hourly rate 9 times out of 10 are answering these calls, okay? So what you want to do is you want to really know how to illustrate the Index Universal Life properly for retirement. You need to talk to somebody in your organization that really knows how to do this properly. These Index Universal Lives have certain mechanisms inside when you're illustrating them on the computer that you can adjust. In fact, you can hurt people bad with these things, and that's why people get out of their policies because cost of insurance is so high they didn't even know about it. So their policies will deplete, and that's where you can do a replacement. But you can get great knowledge from the products, but when it comes to illustrating, find somebody that knows what they're doing. Now, yes, you can go to the carriers, and they can do product knowledge too and do some illustrations. But sometimes you're not always dealing with the person that can do this as well as somebody else. I'm just saying, we have a couple people in our organization that do phenomenal illustrations for people. I mean, they really care. So just keep that in mind. I just wanted to say that so you had that as an extra thing to do for yourself. Anybody else have any questions, guys? Any other questions at all? Okay, I guess that's it for today. Thank you for coming again. If you have any questions, you can always text me. If you want to, get involved into our group, I'm going to tell you how to get involved. You can text join 352-255-2594, and you can get involved into our organization. All you have a healthy day, and I'll see you next week. Same time, same place, Fridays at 11.